Alright guys, well there is some cloud cover this morning, but I don't think it's going to be overly, one of those crazy sunset or sunrises. But I'm excited to see kind of what happens. I've come to a place that I've been to probably a half dozen times this year in the Superstition Mountains. It's an absolutely beautiful place, and one of the things that I think is really important is when a place where you live, to try and shoot it in different ways, different times of the year, different times of the day. I'm here for sunrise, and normally this is a really good sunset spot because the sun rises off by kind of behind these mountains, so you won't have the actual sunrise above the mountains until later on in the morning. At sunrise, the horizon's flat kind of off to the west, so you get these really beautiful sunsets. You get nice light on the rocks. But this time of year, the sun is still pretty far south, so I will get a little bit of light on the peaks. But I want to try something a little bit different. I'm not sure what it is yet, so I'm just going to kind of hike, take my time, and yeah, so it looks like there's some high altitude clouds. Probably going to get some nice color in the sky, so I'm going to get hiking and see if I can find a little composition here with some foreground. This area has a lot of really beautiful small cacti and bushes and trees and fallen dead cactus and stuff like that, so I'm excited to kind of see what I can come up with this morning. Well, if you guys have watched some of my previous videos, you'll notice I have the 50mm lens on here. I did a video not too long ago about a landscape photography challenge where I went out with just my 50mm prime and took some shots, and ended up by how much I really love that lens. It was pretty shocking to me. One, the sharpness right away. I mean, it's pretty common knowledge that primes are a lot sharper than zoom lenses, but when I got it back on the computer at home, it was fascinating. I have a Tamron G1 24-70 f2.8, and which is a fine lens, but shooting with the 50mm was just ridiculous. So I actually left that at home. I just brought my 14-24 and my 70-200, and this 50mm, of course. Which, one, it makes my bag a bit lighter, and two, it's just, like I said, the sharpness is just absolutely incredible. So right now I am doing a pano. I've shot this area quite a few times. One thing I've never really done here is a pano. I've always, done a really wide angle lens and then shot, with something really close in the foreground with the, these three sisters, the peaks in the background, vertical composition. And so I find it extremely important that if you live in a location where you can go to several times, to try different spots, try to shoot it differently, whether it's the focal length, whether it's the time of day, whether it's the time of year, because the sun for this location for sunrise isn't the best most of the year because the sun sets on the other side of the mountain. So the sun actually doesn't come up above the mountain until well after actual sunset. But right now the sun's going to be coming up kind of behind me here when it's the mountains are really low, kind of off to the east. So I'm going to get some kind of early sunrise light, which is, a little bit more golden light than that really harsh light. So this actually might be nice. Normally this is a better sunset spot because to the west it's extremely flat. So you're going to get that golden light up on the peaks, up on the cacti. These swirls are going to be lit up by that golden light. So generally this is a better sunset spot, but I'm out here for sunrise for a couple of reasons. Because I just want to shoot something different. I love the area, and with these saguaro cacti, which we have an unlimited amount here in Arizona, I want to get better at shooting saguaros because I was looking kind of through my portfolio the other day, and I really don't have anything with saguaros in there, which is a travesty really because we have them everywhere. They're absolutely beautiful plants, but I find them kind of hard to shoot, to be honest with you. There's times where you know, I'll photograph them and then I don't like them later on. So what I want to do is really start to practice photographing more saguaros and making them more of a subject and more of a focal point in my photos. So that's kind of a thing that I'm going to go, you know, be doing and looking out for more, getting out more often just to photograph saguaros in different ways, different focal lengths, you know, panos and things like that, or wide angle, up close, abstract, stuff like that. So I really want to experiment with them because I can drive pretty much 20 minutes in any direction and be in a big saguaro field. So what I'm really trying to do is photograph that. So right now, instead of getting really close to like a prickly pear cactus or a cholla and photographing, you know, wide angle with the sisters in the background, I want to do a pano here, because if you look right here, I mean, these saguaros are, they're everywhere, leading all the way up. So once this light actually comes up, once the sun comes up, all these cacti are going to be side lit. All these saguaros are going to be side lit, and I think it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to get some side light on the peaks. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for here. We got a little bit of color. I took my shots, you know, a little bit of color, which was a really nice shot, but I'm really here for the light. So I kind of just used my PhotoPills app, and I was kind of seeing where the sun exactly was going to come up. And I looked earlier with the planner to see exactly where the sun was going to come up, because I didn't want it to be behind this big mountain here. So once I got out here, I double checked it, and the sun is going to come up from this way. So I'm going to get some nice, beautiful light. It's already starting to happen here. So I'm going to kind of shoot through what I think is going to be the good light. So the light's going to keep making its way down the mountain. Right now it's just lighting up the peak, which is absolutely beautiful. And I'm just going to keep shooting panos the whole time until the sun comes up. You know, I've got color. You know, I got the pre-sunrise with the kind of the reflected or the diffused light in the clouds. I got kind of the pink clouds and stuff. So it was actually really nice. But now I'm going to keep shooting as the light changes. I'm going to continue to shoot as the sun rises to get the different light as it changes, as different things are, you know, starting to be side lit. I want to just continue to shoot through that and come away with something. I'm going to just kind of sit right here and to shoot all the way through sunrise. So what I'm going to do is I'm doing about a 6-shot pano, and I'm just going to do that all the way through sunrise. I'm going to continue to keep doing it, and just later on in post-processing I can just pick out which one I like the best. Alright guys, well, I think I got something I really like, and while the time-lapse was finishing, the light kind of got harsh on the mountain and what I was shooting. So what I decided to do was just kind of walk around with the 50 and see if I can find some detail shots. And I actually found something I've never photographed before or ever really thought to, but it was a spider in a spider web, you know, just being backlit by the sun. It was something that just caught my eye, and I decided to photograph. And I think that's important. That's what I'm going to start doing now. Now that the sunrise is kind of, you know, the sun's up in the sky higher, I don't think there's really anything as far as the big landscape goes to take any more photos of. Instead of just heading back to the truck and going home, I'm going to kind of walk around and see if I can find some details. Kind of look down at my feet, look around at the smaller details, look for, you know, abstract patterns and lines and some of these cacti, and see if I can find something to shoot either now or have something, maybe a mental note of something that I can shoot later on in a different light. You know, more like the detail type shots that I shot in my 50mm video. I've already seen a couple of those hedgehog cactus that are kind of around here. And I wouldn't mind even improving on that shot that I took. You know, there's a couple of things I didn't like about it. So, you know, shooting another one of those with a different shape and something a little more uniform is something I'd love to do. So I'm just going to kind of walk around on the way back, and if I find anything, I'll show you guys right here. Alright guys, well, I don't know if this works. The composition, I'm not really sure. So I have kind of a focal point of a beautiful saguaro cactus with a kind of an arm kind of coming towards me a little bit. I'm shooting at about 135 millimeters, and I've kind of cut out most of the sky, and I'm shooting at f11. But because this main subject is so close that the rest is kind of be thrown out of focus a little bit, which I think I like. But it is getting pretty hot out here already, so I think I'm going to pack it up. But I'm going to show you guys this shot anyway. I'm not totally convinced, at least on the back of the camera, that I love it, but it isn't bad. And it's kind of something that I'm starting to look for, is this type of composition and shooting these saguaros kind of like this. I think maybe the sun might be just a little too high at this point. Maybe something at first light would be a good shot like this. So something to kind of keep in the back of my head. But there is some amazing stuff coming up here in the next few weeks. Here's a little preview. And we got some exciting news coming up, guys. I can't wait to share that with you. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.